Welcome to BPTV. I'm your host, Andy Amrine, and another segment on the Bethel Park Farmers Market. And today we're meeting with this amazing family of farmers. Going to tour the fields, see what they grow, and see why they come to the Bethel Park Farmers Market. This program is brought to you by the Bethel Park Community Foundation.
I'm Madison, and I'm 11 years old, and I'm the fifth generation of a farmer.
I'm Austin. I'm 17. I'm a fifth generation of a farmer.
I'm Haley Judikinas. I'm fifth generation, and I love working with my family.
I'm Brandon Judikinas, and I'm a fifth generation farmer.
I'm Donald Judikinas. I'm a fourth generation farmer.
I'm Hunter Judikinas, and I'm a fourth generation.
I'm Jalen Slogger, and I'm a fourth generation farmer.
I'm Austin Judikinas. I'm 23, and I'm a third generation farmer.
I'm Allie Hooks, and I'm a fifth generation of a farmer.
I'm DJ Judikinas. I'm 42 years old. I'm a third generation family farmer, and I've been doing this my whole life, never had another job.
Okay, who's that fine gentleman next to you there?
I'm Ed Judikinas. I'm a third generation farmer, and I've been a farmer my whole life.
Okay, so could you guys start off by third generation now? Okay, tell us about your grandparents then. So your grandparents would have started this farm. Or did they start the farm here, or was it a different location?
No, they started here. My grandfather actually started the farm with 7 acres he originally started with, and then we've built up to it. You know, we own over 120 acres now, and,
Okay.
we farm over 200 acres probably altogether, 230 acres. Well, I know my grandpap always lived in this area. Our ancestors moved over here from Lithuania, and they started a big cattle farm. They had milking cows. They had
Okay.
one time over 200 or 300 milking cows. They owned 300 acres, and my grandfather was one of the older ones, so he moved out on his own and ended up starting a vegetable farm.
Okay.
And worked in the steel mills too, like in the Pittsburgh steel mill. Him and my dad both worked there to start with, and kind of did the farming on the side. And then as we got older, we turned it into a full-time career.
Okay, so what did your parents do though? They were the second generation?
Yeah, they were the second generation farmers. You know, my dad was. So, and every year we just got bigger. They bought more property, added to the farm as we did. As we got older, we added more to the farm and just keep trying to make it bigger and better.
Now, did you two do anything besides farming? So right from growing up, you just, as soon as you could walk, you started picking vegetables.
Yeah, that's how. As soon as you're able to go in the field, you start working.
Okay. So you've always lived in this area itself?
Yes.
Okay, now are there any other siblings that you have or had?
We had an older brother. His name was Albert.
Okay.
He died in a car accident in 2013.
Okay.
So we're just in business together, just me and my brother.
All right, and you have children though, right?
Yes.
Okay, how many children do you
I have
have?
3 children. I have older boy, Joe. You'll see him at the Bethel Park Farmers Market.
Okay.
My daughter comes and helps us at the Bethel Farmers Market.
Okay.
Then I have a younger boy who doesn't work with the farm.
Okay, shame on him. How about you?
Well, I have 4 young kids. My oldest is 23, and my youngest one's 12. And they, you seen them here earlier, and they all help on the farm with picking, planting, greenhouse work, whatever it takes. We all work together to try to get the job done.
And they all live on land?
Yeah, they all live on land owned by the farm right now. They all still live at home. Even the 23-year-old, he hasn't moved out on his own yet, but he enjoys working on the farm and pretty much made it his career so far too.
Okay, so tell us about the farming itself, all this acreage that you have. What is it that you produce here?
We produce a lot of different stuff.
Okay.
I mean, we have an orchard. We produce peppers, tomatoes. We probably grow over 50 varieties of different fruits and vegetables, from lettuce, eggplant, cantaloupe, watermelon, peaches, apples, tomatoes, sweet corn. We grow a lot of sweet corn. So, I mean, sweet corn, tomatoes, and peaches are probably 3 of our main crops in season for the summertime.
Okay, how do you pick the crops each year? Do you pick the same crops every year and just rotate where you're planting, or do you have different crops?
Yeah, we try different things every year. We'll try new products, but our main thing is just replant the same thing as it did good the year before. We try certain tomatoes, they do good, we plant them next year, and we'll try a new variety every year.
Okay.
Make sure we got something new coming in case the one variety ain't working for
And
us.
with the fields and everything that we're standing in, is it the same things you plant every year, or do you?
No, we like there was corn here last year,
Okay.
and over here would have been tomatoes, so we rotated every year.
Okay.
Plant something different. Then we go in between the fields and leave a field to keep the ground better.
Okay. And who gets to? How do you keep track of all of this?
Yeah, we keep some records of it. You know, we have aerial photos of the ground. We know where we plowed and where we're going to plow the next year.
Okay. So what is your? You said peaches and corn are 2 of your best that you do every year?
Yeah, that and tomatoes.
And
I mean, those are
tomatoes.
the top 3, I would say, but you got to have a variety when you're running a fruit and vegetable farm like we are and trying to sell to the direct public fresh market,
Okay.
You got to have a variety. You can't depend on one crop, That's why I said we grow over 50 different types of crops, from radishes, lettuce to spinach, peppers, tomatoes,
So
cantaloupe, watermelon.
some are early crops, some are late season crop, and
Exactly.
everything. So it keeps you going.
Yeah, we usually start planting sometime in April, and we plant up till about the middle of the end of July. So we have crops all year long because you can't run out. The farmers markets usually run from May to October or May to
Right.
November. So you got to have a crop available for people to buy when you're at the market.
Now I noticed that you have a greenhouse too. I mean, so you
Yeah.
start. When are you planting in the greenhouse?
Usually we start those about the end of January, seeding tomato seeds, like these early tomato seeds, early pepper seeds and stuff. We start like in the end of January, 1st of February, and we have a couple high tunnels that we plant tomatoes and stuff in that we start planting in those earlier because we can keep the frost off and have an earlier crop to go to the farmer's market.
Okay, and you have your own store on the land that you sell at?
Yeah, we do. We have a small farm market that we sell out of in 2 big greenhouses, so we sell right at the farm too, but we grow so much produce it's hard to sell it all right at the small family farm market, so we got to haul some stuff around to the Bethel Park Farmers Market that we love going to.
Well, let's talk about the Bethel Parks Farmer. How many years have you been coming to the Bethel Park Farmers Market?
I've been doing the Bethel Parks Market, I think, for 4 years.
4 years. But I mean, every time I see you there, you're packed.
Yeah.
I mean, you have people in line waiting for your produce. And
Yeah,
that
it's one
on
of
it.
our busiest markets we do. We try to bring a fresh product to them, and they get a good homegrown product.
Okay, and how did you pick from way out here, past the airport, Clinton? How did you find the Bethel Park Farmers Market?
Just from word of mouth, we ended up hearing about it. They were looking for a farmer, and we were looking for a place to sell.
Okay.
So we don't mind traveling a distance for the nice people and the real busy.
Now, you
there.
generally have to bring some of your children and grandchildren
Yeah,
to
I
do
bring
that
my
to keep you
children
busy?
and grandchildren to help us sell and set up and get ready for the market.
Okay, and what sells best there? Whatever you bring, or is there
Pretty
things
much
people
whatever
ask
we
for?
bring, but we sell a lot of tomatoes and sweet corn there.
Okay.
That's one of our two best sellers.
This is July now, first week of July. Is the corn in?
Yeah, we're picking corn. We'll be picking some corn today. We're picking tomatoes, cucumbers, pickles, zucchinis, green beans.
Now, with the, say on the corn, do you plant at different times so you have corn
We
going
start
throughout
at,
the season?
About the 25th of March, I plant my first corn.
Okay.
We plant corn every week. We plant about 3 to 5 acres at a time every week until about the middle of July.
Okay. And when will your last harvest be then?
Well, we go up till frost. But last year we picked corn up until about the 25th of October. So it could be anywhere from 1st of October you might have a frost and finish it, but you can get lucky and get to the end of October. So we plant for the end of October.
Now, such a large family that you have working here, do you lose a lot of the produce that they just eat all day long out in the fields?
Yeah, sometimes that happens, especially with the cherries.
Okay, so that's their favorite. They always volunteer to pick the cherries for you?
Yeah, that's it. It's always hard to get enough baskets full of cherries, to go to a market because they're always eating and snacking.
Yeah, so they
on 'em.
came back and they were out picking 6 hours and brought one little basket back.
Right.
Do they have a favorite to pick? Did each of the children have their favorite vegetable that they work at?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they each have their own favorite little niche that they have doing and stuff. Like I know my middle-aged son Donnie, he likes to do planting and stuff like that. Where my oldest son would rather be hands-on, putting tomato stakes in or doing something more labor-intensive. So my daughter, she likes working in the cut flower field. We actually grow about 8 or 10 acres of fresh cut flowers, and my daughter likes doing that with her mom. And our youngest son Hunter, he pretty much just likes following me around and doing whatever I'm doing, and he's only 12 now, so he's still just learning.
How about mechanics? You have a lot of equipment here.
Yeah, I do.
Who does
I do
all the
our
repairs?
mechanic work.
Do you? That's your
Yeah,
job?
that's my job, making sure everything runs and works. If it breaks in the field, get it fixed before the help gets bored and leaves.
Do you have a fourth generation that's helping you on the mechanics?
Yeah, my oldest boy does, Joe. He'll help me fix stuff. He's a pretty good mechanic.
Okay. So, but you have, what's your youngest family member that's here? You have a granddaughter that's here?
Yeah, my granddaughter, she's 11.
Okay.
That would probably be our youngest family member that's here. But at the Bethel Park Farmers Market, you could see I have 2 other grandchildren. My daughter has Ralph. He's a little 5-year-old, and then I have a 3-year-old Savannah.
Amazing. And it seems like everyone we've met here, everyone we meet at the farmers market, they seem to all enjoy what they're doing, and they seem to enjoy being farmers itself.
Yeah, this is like a business where you got to love what you do.
Yeah.
If you don't love it, you probably won't be doing it.
Yeah. But when I see you at the farmers market, though, everything looks like it was just picked that morning.
Yeah.
Is that how you do farmers markets?
Every market, every morning we pick fresh produce every morning.
So for the Bethel market, it starts at 3 o'clock. I assume it takes you an hour to get there.
Yep.
It probably takes you half hour to an hour to set up.
Yep.
So what time do you get up in the morning on a Tuesday
On
to
Tuesdays,
get ready?
We start at 6 o'clock. I start at 6 o'clock every morning.
Okay.
But it takes us from 6, and we leave here about 12:30, quarter to 1. We try to be on the road. Bethel Park's one of my farthest markets away.
Right.
So it's an intense morning just to get everything done. There's not a lot of time to be messing around. Everybody got a job, and you do it.
Do you just bring one truck, or?
Yeah, I take one truck to Bethel Park.
Okay. And poundage of produce at a farmer's market like that, can you care to guess?
I don't even.
You bring a couple
Thousands
thousand
of
pounds,
pounds, yeah.
thousands of pounds of it. And do you generally have stuff that you have to take back?
No, generally at Bethel Park Farmers Market, we sell about everything we have with us.
Okay.
We might have a couple things left, but everything pretty much goes.
Yeah. Well, we're very fortunate in Bethel Park to have you guys come into our community every Tuesday. I know people look forward to it, and I appreciate you taking the time, and I look forward to a tour of the farm here.
All right, we're ready.
Okay, so Ed, obviously we're in one of your tomato fields itself, and I mean, you got acres of tomatoes here, but some are green, some are yellow, some are orange, and some are getting red. Tell me a little bit about growing tomatoes. Say, how long did it take? When did you plant these? When do you harvest them? And give me a little quick synopsis of your tomatoes.
All right, well, we start our seeds in the greenhouse in February, end of January, 1st of February, we get the seeds going up, and then we plant them a couple times in the different cell packs until we get them up into a 4-inch pot. We plant them in the field about the 15th of April, maybe 18th of April. Once we got them planted in there, we cover them with a tunnel. We put a little greenhouse over these. We put hoops in and cover them and let them grow till the chance of frost is over.
All right.
That's right around the end of May.
Okay.
So when the chance of frost is over, we uncover them, and you try to weed them a little bit, and you get the stakes, stake them up, and start stringing them, and by that time they're already getting tomatoes on them.
Okay, and so that's your blossoms here.
That's the blossoms coming, and you can see the bigger tomatoes. The first tomatoes will start on the bottom, and they work their way up the limbs, and you'll have tomatoes all for a long season on them. We started picking tomatoes about a week ago.
Okay.
Out of the field here, and they'll produce till I don't know the end of August, and then we'll have other fields that keep coming in every month or every 2 weeks. There's another field that's going to be coming in. We'll be picking fresh tomatoes.
And all this is picked by hand, though.
Yeah, we pick everything by hand.
Everything is by hand.
Yeah, corn.
It's very labor intense.
Yes.
Okay, so the life of this tomato plant then is from March when you're planting them until the season ends and it frosts.
Sometimes the season ends. The seasons here will last till about September.
Okay.
And by that time, we're picking other fields, but we'll pick these. We pick the biggest ones to sell the main ones first, and then we'll get some smaller ones on we sell for canning tomatoes.
So how many acres of tomatoes do you have?
We plant about 12 to 15 acres of tomatoes. Yeah.
Of tomatoes. Amazing. Well, I know I love tomatoes, and I'm looking forward to tasting some this week at the farmer's market. Okay, so Ed, we're in the greenhouse, and the family here is picking. And how are these tomatoes different?
These are high tunnel tomatoes. We plant them in the pots earlier in the season, get the tomatoes growed up, and they grow a lot faster in the greenhouse, so we can have tomatoes actually earlier. We can have them in May or June or whenever you want them.
Okay.
We don't do the hydroponics, but we do the high tunnel. We do them in potting soil because they have a little better taste to the tomato, and it gives a better product for the people buying.
Okay, so these are all in pots, but you have a drip irrigation.
Yeah,
into
there's
each
drip
and every pot.
irrigation water to each pot.
And now, will these produce the entire season, just like
These
the
won't.
others?
We let these produce for about a month,
Okay.
and then we'll replant and try to get another planting. We have 2 greenhouses going with them, so one will be producing while the other one's growing. Then when that starts producing, we'll be replanting in the other one.
Now, are these harder to pollinate compared to the
no.
ones in the field?
No, these will pollinate real easy. There's no problem with them. They're made to grow in the greenhouse.
Yeah, actually, tomatoes are self-pollinating. They
Oh,
don't
okay.
really need pollination, so
Okay.
you don't need to pollinate a tomato like where a zucchini or a cucumber needs pollination, where if you were growing those inside here, you'd have to bring in bees or something to help pollinate them. Tomatoes are self-pollinating.
Now, do you have your own beehives on the farm?
We don't have our own beehives, but there is a few wild bees left around, and we we're lucky to have them, because a lot of people have lost their wild bees over the last few years, and there's other sweat bees and stuff that help pollinate. And sometimes we'll bring bees in from a guy where we have them come in and set them up for us, like for
Right.
our orchard or our melons or our pumpkin fields, and they keep them there for so long and then come and get them and take them out for us.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so we're out in the fields and onions.
Yeah, there's Pennsylvania candy onions. They're a real sweet onion. They grow them early in the season, and when the tops are on them, people like to use the tops too to eat. But later in the season, when they die, then you dry these and you can keep them all winter. I'll have these onions in the spring next year to sell at the Bethel Park Farmers Market.
So the difference?
The difference is just more the color of them for show. They're both real sweet onions. I think the white onions are a little more tender than the red onions.
They smell better.
Yeah.
Well, stronger.
They're stronger.
No.
Yeah, they smell real good.
Okay, and what else are you growing in this field?
We also have leeks.
Okay, and
The
that's
fresh
what
leeks.
your
That's
family's
what they're
picking now
right
is
now.
the
They're-
leeks.
They're picking leeks, and we have fresh kale.
Okay, that's all up in this one field.
Yeah, this is in one field here. This is the earlier stuff we plant, and we cover these with covering too
Okay,
to get them going early in the season.
okay. And what do you do with the leeks?
They're more like just for soups and stuff.
Okay,
They're just I think they're like a stronger onion, but they have their different taste to them. There's all kind of stuff you can do with them. You look it up and see, but I don't really like leeks.
okay.
I'm more of an onion guy.
like the
but
onions?
yeah, but the leeks are good for people who like them.
Okay, so once again, what you were selling at the farmer's market, you were picking that
Yeah,
morning. It's
we're
that
picking fresh morning. Yep, the stuff is
amazing.
getting picked today is going to a market today.
Yeah, that's the goal, is to pick it fresh every day. We don't want to have stuff laying around because they can go buy that kind of stuff at the supermarket. We want it to be different at the farmer's market. We want you to come out and get fresh what you're picking that day. That makes all the difference, and that's what makes it all taste so much better too.
Okay, so new field. What are we looking at this time?
What are we picking there, hey?
Lettuce,
Lettuce.
What kind of lettuce is it?
regular green lettuce.
Okay, and what makes this lettuce different? You sell this as a head, or do you cut this up and sell it?
No, we
just
sell
the
this
leaves?
as the whole head. That's what kind of makes it unique.
Okay.
We plant them in the greenhouse from single individual seeds, grow them up, then we transplant them, then we plant them in a field on black plastic here with the trickle irrigation, which is underneath here
Underneath?
to help keep them watered.
Okay.
And lettuce likes a lot of water, and it doesn't really like this heat that we've been having. So the trick to growing at this time of the year is having that water on it and keeping the trickle irrigation. But it's unique because you don't find a head of lettuce like this in the grocery store, a big head of leaf lettuce like that. Usually they're much smaller.
Okay, and harvesting it, how did you harvest it?
Just cut it from the bottom.
And you have your own knife?
Yeah.
Oh, you ever get cut? No, you're perfect. That's what we like to hear. All right, and do you have other lettuce that you grow?
We do. We grow this. We grow red leaf lettuce. We
Okay.
have romaine or a butter crunch type lettuce. We also do spring mix and spinach earlier in the year in our greenhouse in our high tunnel. So
Okay, but that's just spring only?
yeah, spring and fall we'll do it again. In the heat of the summer, it's hard to grow.
Hard to grow. All right. Okay, so Haley, you're picking, what is this that she's picking now?
That's green zucchini.
Okay. And the one that was to my right is what?
That's a yellow summer squash.
Okay, so plants are similar but different. Is that
Plants
right,
are
Haley?
similar but different.
Okay, and how long does these take to grow?
These are usually about 45 to 50 days from seed. If we use transplants, you can get them within 30, 35 days. So they're a pretty easy crop to grow. And we usually plant zucchini and squash 4 or 5 times throughout the season. So we have a steady crop of zucchini and squash all summer long.
Okay, so one plant will produce how much produce?
A zucchini plant, I would say, can produce up to 25 to 40 pounds of zucchini on
Wow.
one plant throughout its lifetime before it finishes. I mean, they're a very productive plant.
Now, is there any, when you're picking them, is this an average size or do you let them go?
No,
go
that's an
larger?
average size. You actually would like to pick them, between that size. I would say 10 to 14 inches long. You don't want to let them get too big because sometimes they can get a little seedier. Unless you have special recipes like making a zucchini bread or a zucchini boat in the oven, that would work for that kind of thing. Zucchini pancakes.
So, Kaylee, when you pick these, do you ever just eat them?
No, I don't like zucchini.
You don't like zucchini?
No.
You'll stick to the cherries?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about this corn. These stalks are a little shorter, and it looks like the corn is going closer to the ground.
Yeah, it's just an earlier sweet corn that you can grow early in Pennsylvania. We cover it up with row covering, get it going early. We planted this the 20th of March.
Okay.
And that's how it grows. It sets in here real close to the ground so that it'll set the ear faster and get ready faster. They only get about 4 foot tall,
Okay.
but it's just an early sweet corn. It's real sweet.
Okay. Madison, is it sweet?
Yeah.
Yes. You like eating it this way?
Mm-hmm.
Haley, what about you?
It is good like that.
It is good like that? So you pick it, and how do you pick it, Haley? What do you do? Do you need your knife?
No, you just twist it.
You just twist it and pull it? And are you about to eat yours too? Is that why you're husking it? All right, well, show us how sweet it is. All the way down. Look at that. Can't wait to try one.
I will add something to that about the corn thing. A lot of people, it's like the farmer's almanac, the farmer's saying is corn should be knee high by the 4th of July. Today is July 5th, and we've been picking corn for over a week already. And a lot of customers at the farmer's market don't think it's homegrown when they see corn out so early at the farmer's market. Well, this is proof. You see it right in the field. It is homegrown. It's all in the day of the corn, and like the shortness factor. Filled corn is knee high by the 4th of July. Sweet corn, you can actually be picking by the 4th of July around here.
That's why you guys are the farmers. You're super smart. All right, another very interesting part of the farm is flowers. Who would thought flowers go with the farm? So instead of produce, we got some beautiful flowers here. Now, you bring these to the farmer's market also?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we bring fresh cut wildflower bouquets. We do sunflowers, zinnias, which are right here, but we do about 12 or 15 different varieties of flowers that we mix up into fresh cut wildflower bouquets, and we usually have those all summer from around the 4th of July till the first frost in October.
So it's another big part of the business.
Definitely is, yeah, and it adds to the business, a little diversity, something a little bit different. We do some weddings and stuff, graduations, whatever people want wildflowers for. We have fresh cut flowers for any of their occasions, if they just want one for the weekend to look at, because they had a bad week at work, or
Right.
if they want to do something, nice for someone, give one as a gift, or if they're having a wedding, whatever they want one for.
So you bring these every week to the farmer's market with you? Or at
Yeah, we
least,
do. Yeah,
some of them?
once they're in season, we try to have them every week. And one thing I will say about the cut flowers, they sell out pretty quick. So any of you guys out there watching, if you want a wildflower bouquet, get to the market early.
Okay, because we open at 3 and you're sold out of flowers at 3:05, right?
Exactly. Yeah, sometimes they're gone before we open. Everybody will be holding one
Yeah.
while they're waiting to buy produce and stuff. They grab them and hold them while they're waiting to open bell.
Thank you for tuning in to BPTV, and thank you for the John Aquinas, did I say it right? Family, allowing us to come out to their farm and show us this amazing place. So you have from farm to table, nothing in between, pull it right out of the ground and you eat it. So please stop by the Bethel Park Farmers Market every Tuesday from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and you're going to be able to sample all of this amazing food every single week. So family, thank you for showing me around. And you want me to eat an onion?
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. From onions to everything. I love it.